Hello, everybody. I'm Brian Burst, teacher here at Yale High School, and I'm guessing most of you know that, or you probably wouldn't be here watching this. I'm going to do a quick lesson today to show how to make a very simple model using an online software called Tinkercad. I've been having some students that have been interested in using our 3D printer, and this is usually the place that I point them to. So if you're at home and you want to kind of try to follow along, I think that would be a good idea. So I'm going to share my screen here so you can see what the interface looks like. And we'll just make up something really quickly here. So this is, you go to tinkercad.com, and once you get there, I have to flip my screen to it as well. Once you get there, you'll see this kind of a screen here. I'm gonna make my screen a little bit bigger. You need to make an account, and it's free. So I signed up here. You can see my name, and let's just get right into it. So down here by designs, I'm gonna create a new design. Okay, and the basic idea here is we have this plane, this XY plane, that we can add shapes to. So I'm going to create something pretty simple here, and yet give you an idea of kind of the power that you can use here with this tool. What I'm going to make is I'm going to make a straw. Okay, nothing super complicated, but just to show you an idea for how it works. So I'm going to click under here with these geometric primitives, and you can see you don't have that big of a list to choose from. And it's pretty interesting, all the different complicated shapes you can come up with just by using these basic ones. So if I want a straw, I'm going to start with a cylinder. I'm going to drag that out here onto the work surface and just let it go. Now, it's not really the right size to be a straw, right? I'm noticing that it's kind of short. So I want to make it taller. So as I mouse over these little white squares here, you can see that it gives me some kind of heads-up display indications of what I would be resizing by clicking on those. So if I want to make it taller, I want to click on this top one and stretch it up like this. I'm not going to worry too much about the exact dimensions. I just want to kind of show the idea. So there is a taller cylinder, and by right-clicking and moving around, I can look at it from different angles. Okay, so to make this a straw, I need to make it hollow, and that's kind of what I wanted to show you here today. So to make it hollow, I need to use another cylinder. I'll drag it out here like this. Now, by default, this cylinder is the same size as the one that I just used. And so that really wouldn't quite work right. So what I want to do is I want to make this one a little smaller, but I still want it to be a circle. So I'm going to hold down the Shift key as I resize. And what that'll do is it'll lock those dimensions. You can see as I'm going up and down, see how the, I'm going to call them the X and the Y coordinates there, are in sync with each other. So I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller than the other one, and I'm going to make it taller. And one kind of hint that I've learned is that if you're going to be subtracting something out, go ahead and make it a little bit oversized so that it will protrude out from each end. So now I can click on this, and I can move it around to where it gets inside of the other one. So that looks pretty close. I think I did a pretty good job. If I zoom my camera around here so I can look at it from the top, and I'm using a trackpad, so it's a little hard for me to use the mouse, I can see that it's not quite in the center. And in a way, I'm kind of glad that it's like that, because I want to show you one more thing that I found to be pretty handy. I'm going to select both of those objects, and I'm going to do that by clicking and just dragging around them like this. It highlights both of them. If I go under the Adjust menu here, one of the choices is Align. And it'll bring up these little dots here that are fairly intuitive as how it's going to work. I want to center this middle part of my straw. I'm going to click on that one, and then I want to center it this way as well, so it'll center it kind of front to back like that. And now if I look at it from the top, I can see that it is actually in the middle. Okay, and then the last thing to make this a straw here, I want to move this middle piece down a little bit, and that's what this arrow here will do. I can move it up and down. So I'm going to kind of move it so I can see it sticking out of the bottom, kind of like that. Okay, and then the last step, I'm going to click on Whole, and that will subtract that piece out. So now I've got a tube, or as I was imagining it, it's a straw. And so if I were to export this or download it for printing, which you can do, I'm not going to do that right now, but you can download for 3D printing, and then it's just a matter of getting it in the right file format to print on the printer. So there's a quick little overview of making a very simple shape using Tinkercad. And I hope you have some success with it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to ask some follow-up questions, and I can try to get try to get those answers to you as soon as possible.